I got up at dawn because I guess that's just when I get up now. I've gotten up so many times, but at least I got that nice view of Hideyoshi. But my day today is traveling actually to Ashikita, which is on the coast. But on the way, I got some more of these great Kumamoto views, better shots of like the mountains and the rivers that I couldn't get when I was driving down the highway. It was all essentially back roads to Ashikita. It's only about 45 minutes away. There is also this cool rest stop kind of halfway between. I guess the rest stop itself is fine, but the views are amazing. You can really see the sheer scale of the mountains that just go straight up. Even just looking at these trees, they're just massive. Also, the river had this cool, like, blue sheen to it, but zoom out and you see just the enormity of the valley and really these tremendous views. Also, if you pan over here, there's these kind of dome buildings. I don't know what they were for. They looked old. The area used to have a lot of like forestry. There's like an interactive forestry history, living history thing. Also, this cool train that they had at the rest stop, which used to haul logs out of where they were cut down. But this is getting to Ashikita. This is my first stop, the Ashikita Dekapon, which is like a grocery store. But the reason I'm there is for this. They had a bunch of stuff there for Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater, which is an anime about fishing, and one of my favorite anime of all time. The reason they have all this stuff for it, it was named one of the top 88 anime sites to visit in Japan, which is pretty cool. I know the show's not super popular in the US, but I guess it's more popular in Japan, which is cool. They have the characters on everything. This is just a regular tourism poster. This is a recovery poster. It's like, hey, let's recover Kumamoto. Also, this banner, when it stays where I can see it, is basically saying, hey, remember to clean up your trash and all that stuff. And while I was still at Ashikita Dekapon, I decided to get some lunch. I got these beef and potato croquettes. Croquettes are basically like fried on the outside. In the middle, it doesn't look appealing, but that's just essentially like mashed potatoes and beef jumbled up together. They were quite tasty. My next stop was Tenguya, which is a fishing shop and a stand-in for Takahagea, the fishing shop in the show. It's pretty cool. They had a bunch of Diary of the Days of the Breakwater, like banners, stuff, signage all on the outside. Very proud of their role in the show. And inside, they have a ton of merch. They have these standees. They have keychains, pins, shirts, everything you could want. They actually, I didn't get a good shot of it here, but they have like fishing lures with the characters on them, which I think is pretty fun and cool. And I got them, even though I'm probably never going to use them for fishing. Actually, I got two in case I ever wanted to use one for fishing. None of these shirts fit me, but I wanted them. Also, they had stuff signed by the cast and also the original mangaka who's from the area and posted all these stuff. The staff was also super friendly and always offering to, hey, take pictures is fine, and it's great. My next stop here was Kamigahama Beach. The beach is featured in the show a few times, I think early, but it's also where like they end the show. Also, it's just a great view in case you ever want to go to Ashikita and don't care about Diver Days of the Breakwater. Handful of people here. It is the off season, so it's not as clean and pristine. It's getting close to the big tourist season, Golden Week, in a couple weeks. But also, it's a beach. It's more popular in the summer and whatnot. Here's also the characters saying that, hey, don't litter on the beach sign. There's also this breakwater that's featured a couple times in the show. This isn't the titular breakwater, just another breakwater, shot of the beach from the breakwater. You actually can't fish off the beach, so if you wanted to fish how they fish, you'd have to fish off this breakwater. Next, I went to Ashikita town by the shore. The whole area is Ashikita, but this is the part that they, live in the show or go to in the show. It's a very cute small town. I really love just kind of like walking from the beach there. Also, there's a cat. It's the first cat I saw of the trip, and I was very excited. I expected more cats, but this one was good enough. This is a breakwater, not the titular breakwater. That one is over there. Hope you like shots of breakwaters because there's a lot of them. Here's the building that I guess is the stand-in for the club room. It's like a community center and a bit bigger than the club room in the show. And there it is. That's the breakwater. I'm on the breakwater. This really is only super exciting for me, and if you watch the show, which I know a lot of people in the US didn't, but at least you can appreciate these views. Part of the reason I think the show is so popular is these kind of incredible views of Ashikita and Kumamoto. Here's the Buddha on the breakwater that pops up time and time again in the show. This is the breakwater we saw earlier when we just got to town. It's featured in the opening credits and kind of like the first scene where the main character runs out to see the class president. And here's the kind of bay where they do most of the fishing. They occasionally fish for bigger things out there, but a lot of it's done kind of in this area with the boats. Also, the vending machine right by the breakwater is having a cross promotion with My Hero Academia, which is fun. And walking back, there's these kind of beach shops that I hope are closed for the season and not closed for good, because they had a lot of cool like anime stuff on the sides. But that was Ashikita. I decided to head back, which is a lot easier said than done considering my GPS didn't know where my Airbnb was. It's not even on the same side of the river. This made it very confusing coming home the first night in the dark. But after a quick stop back home, I decided to go back out and see the Aoi Aso Shrine. Last night, after stopping by, I looked it up. This is actually one of 26 shrines that are listed as an official national treasure in Japan. National treasure is like an official designation for castles and peoples and shrines, and this is one of 26 shrines, which is pretty cool. I actually liked it. I did the full shrine deal. I washed my hands in the purification ceremony. This thing's actually like a Kumamoto specific craft, which is pretty cool. Torii gates, made a wish that I hope my trip was good, and it has been good. I also just really love like the view from the back of like this kind of gate entranceway. I loved it. Also, I moved on next to the Hideyoshi Castle ruin. This isn't a great view. There's also a huge tour, like a very official like prefectural tour happening, so I just had to go to the other side of the river and get these kind of views from the side. Here's the castle ruins. Also, here's a bridge that's featured in Natsume a couple times, but I couldn't get to it because of the kind of reconstruction happening on the river and on the riverbanks. Here they are building kind of the same part of the island, the opposite part of the island that we saw yesterday. Hopefully next time I'm back, it's completed and I can go visit the island. I stopped back home again before going out to dinner, just to see the cool sunset and see how like the city lights up at night. There's a restaurant that's featured in Diary Days of the Breakwater that's actually in Hideyoshi, so I decided to go there for dinner. Yeah, so it turned out the restaurant was closed. Don't know if it was for the day or for the ever. But yeah, did not get it. Ended up just getting something from the convenience store, which is becoming the theme of the trip. I wanted to get this cool shot with the town at sunset behind me. Hopefully everything stays in frame and doesn't lose focus. But yeah, I loved coming to Ashikita. Loved seeing all the breakwater stuff. Loved Kumamoto in general. Just like the trip down, all the driving. I'm kind of sad I have to leave so early, but it's been a pretty fun trip here. Glad I made it. Glad, anything I was anxious about was like completely wiped away. Like there were better English speakers here than in Tokyo, so it worked out pretty well. And it was just a fun time. But again, going from a huge city to Osaka to Kumamoto, I think our camera's coming out of frame. Osaka to Kumamoto, taking another big step, this time going to Okinawa. So next video, I'll be traveling back to Kumamoto and then landing in Okinawa, Japan's tropical paradise. So until then, bye.